Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. If you do enjoy college football content, this is the place to subscribe. We cover a lot, everything from college football pick'em, reacting to the AP Top 25, and also the college football playoff rankings, as well as covering some of the NFL draft stuff that is related to college football. Starting off with the first game here, we have Ohio State and Michigan. This is the most anticipated game of the entire weekend. Two Big Ten rivals, and this has a ton of college football playoff implications all over it. You know, you could really see realistically the winner of this, and then obviously it'll come down to who can, make it through the Big Ten and win that to make it into that college football playoff. But this is a huge stepping stone because whoever loses this game very likely will not make the college football playoff because no two-loss team has ever made it into that stage of the season. So big implications, especially for Ohio State, who feel like they should be the favorite in this game. And according to our page here, 78% of people have been picking Ohio State. I am going to pick Ohio State in this one. CJ Stroud is definitely starting to hit his stride, and it's really tough to pick against this team with how great they've been. They really offensively have figured it out. It's incredible. This is a well-oiled machine. Ryan Day's done a wonderful job with this team so far this year. And let's talk about Michigan a little bit. You got Blake Corum, you have Hassan Haskins, two guys that are going to be gashing Ohio State potentially in this game, really going to try to wear them down in the run game. But if Ohio State's able to jump on them early and really force Michigan to throw the ball a ton, that's where the key is for Ohio State to win this football game. So I am taking Ohio State in this one. The next game we have is Miami of Ohio versus Kent State. I do like Miami of Ohio on the road against the Golden Flashes. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I do see Miami of Ohio actually pulling off the upset on the road. I'd like their team a little bit more than I do Kent State this year. So that's a game that's a tough one to pick. I am going to go ahead and go with Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawks. Now, the next game, this is another interesting one. However, I think it is going to be a clear-cut winner. I think Wake Forest is going to come away with the win here. A team that's been ultra surprising. They've seen themselves ranked as high as like that 9 or 10 spot in the college football rankings. And looking at it, I just think they're going to be too much for Boston College to handle. Sam Hartman's having a terrific season thus far. They've been a popular pick'em choice on the channel, so I am going to opt for Wake Forest in this one. I think that BC is going to have a lot of things go right in order to win this football game. Now we transition into another big matchup. However, this one, once again, it feels like it's Alabama all the way. This is definitely a team that you have to contain the run and the pass. They have both available to them. I know there's quite a few people on the channel that don't believe in Alabama as a team so far this season, and some believe they don't even deserve to be ranked third. And interpret that, I guess, how you will. I do like Alabama in this one against Auburn. Auburn's had some issues so far this year. They've had some promising glimpses, but at the same time, I like Alabama in this one. I think they should be the clear-cut favorites. And according to this, they are 94% picked, so heavily favored in this one, according to the pick'em. And the next game is Oregon and Oregon State. Obviously, a fun matchup. These two teams are definitely juiced up for this one. There's a lot to play for on both sides. Obviously, if you're Oregon, you just have to win. But Oregon State is another team that likes to play spoiler. I think that's been pretty clear and evident that there's some games that they're able to just pull off. And we've seen it a couple of years ago as well. This Oregon State team is fearless. They're competitive. They're tough. I still like Oregon at home. If it were the other way around, you'd think about it a little bit more. I still probably take the Ducks, but however, I do like that they're at home. I think they are going to get the victory here. The next game to pick, we have Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers are taking on the Marshall Thundering Herd. I am going to opt to go with Marshall in this one. I think their roster is a little more complete than Western Kentucky. I think they should win this game. They're at home. Gives me a little bit more confidence. Western Kentucky has been doing pretty well so far this season. I do like the Thundering Herd still at home in this one. And that one is a 2:30 game, by the way, if you were curious. And here's another great matchup in the Big Ten. Huge, huge weekend for these Big Ten matchups. And this is the battle of the Big Ten West. This could really help determine who ends up winning that Big Ten West. The issue for Minnesota is, I believe, just because of the head-to-head, Iowa's got the tiebreaker on them in that one. I think Wisconsin should be heavily favored in this one. I know the records are very, very close. Not a lot of people are picking the Golden Gophers in this one. Reason being, Tanner Morgan has not had the most success this season. Definitely has struggled. This team has amassed a numerous amount of injuries, especially at that running back spot. Guys like Muhammad Ibrahim went down. Trey Potts went down at that running back spot. So it really makes it tough to establish a consistent run game with the mass amount of injuries that they've sustained so far this season. I am going to take the Badgers on the road. They always love to come into Minnesota, get the win, obviously playing for the Axe. This is one that, it could be a trap game for Wisconsin. I do think they are going to pull it off on the road. They've been so good against the Gophers, especially over the last 10 years. They've been terrific. And now the next game here, we have arguably, this is the second biggest matchup of the entire weekend. You got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. Now, this feels like a game. This definitely has to be a Spencer Sanders. He's got to have 250 yards in this one. I think it's pretty clear that he's got to have a massive game. Jalen Warren's another guy that's really got to go off. On the other side of the field, you have Caleb Williams, who definitely he's probably going to have a big game. I don't think there's any question about that. I do like, actually, I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take Oklahoma on the road. They're going to play spoilers, because if Oklahoma State can win this game, they put themselves very much in that college football playoff discussion, because if they can come out of that Big 12 as champions, it really boosts their overall stock. And if you look at it here, this would just be another great win on the resume for this team. I'm going to go ahead, take the Sooners, though. It's a tough game to pick. Don't get me wrong. It's going to take a massive game from Jalen Warren. He's got to get it going early if Oklahoma State wants to win this one. But I am actually going to take the Sooners on the road, which that might surprise a lot of people. Only 35% of people are selecting this. And now the next game, we have Kentucky and Louisville. I think with this game, Kentucky feels like they should be the favorite in this one, despite them being on the road. The record would indicate it. After watching them, the couple of games I've seen from them so far this year, you would feel that way. But Louisville's a little sneaky. It's hard, especially since they're at home. I definitely get this indication that they very well could be, they could upset Kentucky. I am going to go with Kentucky, though. However, I do definitely could see a pathway where Louisville would eventually win that game. I think Kentucky's just too good defensively. Stoops has done a really nice job with this program. I'm taking Kentucky, though. The next game we have here is the BYU Cougars taking on the USC Trojans. To me, it's pretty clear. It's got to be BYU. Reason being, they're on the road. Yes, I understand that. They're having to go into USC, tough environment to play in. But USC has just had a lot of struggles so far this year. Some that don't really even make sense for what we thought this team could potentially be this year. I'm going to take BYU on the road. They've had a really, really nice season so far. And slowly, after amassing two, head-scratching losses, they're up to number 13 in the rankings. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Also, please leave a like if you do enjoy college football content. We are producing a ton of it on the channel now. We greatly appreciate your support, and we cannot wait to see you guys in our next video.